St. Luke uh, 21, 22. I'm going to start that verse right now. But these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. But woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. But there shall be great distress in the land, and wrath upon this people. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations. And Jerusalem shall be treaded down of the Gentiles, until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. The Gentiles is the white race, where I showed you that military academy was a predominant white race, the West Point. And I showed you where they had placed the prisons, peoples in the prison. What this is so a testimony that the Gentiles is a bitter nation because of the way they was conceived. They was part angels and part human beings, which was conceived by angels, spoken of in Genesis chapter 6. But however, God destroyed their male counterpart in the flood of Noah, and they have become a bitter and hasty nation against God, and they denied God. Well, let me go to this part here, and then I'm going to go to take you to the cross if I have time. Let's go to St. John this time. That was St. Luke there. St. John chapter 21. After Jesus had gone to the cross and taken me to the cross, and then I go back here and explain this. Well, chapter 21. These things Jesus showed himself again to his disciples at the Sea of Tyrus. And on this wise showed he himself. There were together Simon, Peter, and Thomas. Well, I'm going to stop right there and go to verse 5. Then Jesus said unto them, Children, have you any meat? They answered him, No. And he said unto them, Cast the net on the right side of the ship, and ye shall find. They cast therefore the net, that cast for, and now they was not able to draw it, but the multitude of fishes. I got to skip from that and go to another because my time is limited. Now, this is after Jesus was crucified and gone, getting ready before he going to his Father in heaven. I had risen from the dead with him because I was yet a part of that spirit. Because my time was not until the United States and all I'm going to go. But I want to read this part here. Verse 15, St. John. So when they had dined, Jesus said to Simon Peter, Simon, son of Jonah, lovest thou me more than these? He said unto him, Yes, Lord, you know. Yes, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He said unto him, Feed my lambs. He said to him again the second time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? He said unto him, Yes, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. So he said unto him, Feed my sheep. He said unto him the third time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? Peter was grieved because he said unto him the third time, Lovest thou me? And he said unto him, Lord, thou knowest all things. Thou knowest that I love thee. Jesus said unto him, Feed my sheep. Verily, verily, I say unto thee, when thou wast young, thou girdest thyself, and walkest whither thou wouldst. But when thou shalt be old, thou shalt stretch forth thy hand, and another shall gird thee, and carry thee wherever you go. Now, spake he signifying by what death he should glorify God, and when he had spoken this, he said unto him, Follow me. Verse 20. Then Peter, turning about, seized the disciples, whom Jesus loved, bodily, which also leaned on his breast at supper, and said, Lord, which is he that betrayed thee? Peter, seeing him, said to Jesus, Lord, and what shall this man do? Jesus said unto him, If I will that he tarry till I come, what is that to thee? Follow thou me. I'm going to stop it right there to pull this prophecy. Jesus was not talking about the man that he said who will betray him. There was a parable spoken of when Jesus was talking about he had called his servants to the feast of the marriage, and his servant didn't go, but he sent a man out and gathered the people that was not of the bridegroom. They came in, but when they came in without a wedding garment. And these were the people they cast into everlasting darkness. This parable here has something to do with the United States of America and what Secretary Hillary Clinton and John McCain was talking about, and what Barack Obama just did when he sent 30,000 more troops over in the Middle East. The law of Moses, which I got here, showing you the genetic color code of the tribes of Israel, who was a people of the black race, the Ark of the Covenant here, which would represent these 12 tribes. Their name was put on this here. God had Moses put his name on Ark. Well, there was a covering of the mercy seat. Was the mercy was Jesus with two cherubim. The cherubims was myself, one was myself, which living by the spirit of Moses, and one was the man who is alive now, living by the spirit of Elijah. It transcended after it went to God to a black prophet spoken of in Revelation. This is the part of the revelation that Jesus spoke to about when he went to his Father in heaven. But I'll go back over this chart in my next recording. Now, the United States of America, the covenant God gave to the 12 tribes of Abraham, who was peoples of the black race once they came out of slavery, not what they look like now. They was not supposed to depart from this law because they became the Ark of the Covenant. The law was placed into the Ark of the Covenant, but Jesus had come down and died. But take his two witnesses with him, which God had built an ark, and the covenant was separate from this, but the law was there. These, once Jesus was crucified and went to his Father, the United States of America went over to take away the law of the mark of Moses and replace it with their ancestral law called democracy. Why did they do this? They knew that God had blessed Abraham and his seed. And he had blessed the land that they had given. God gave them. Well, the United States of America, the Gentiles, the people of the Gentiles, led from Alexander the Great, they had no covenant with God, but they didn't want to serve God, but they used the law of democracy as a biblical code, attaching themselves onto the treasures of the land that God had gave to Abraham. They didn't want to serve God under the umbrella of Moses because the law that God taught was a non-violent law. But how can you be a non-violent people and you got mighty military academies at the top of your agenda where you teach men to kill of only your race, elevating your race on? What I showed you, the audience that Barack Obama spoke in front of was a predominant white race. So what they did, because Abraham's seed was having a genetic color code of being peoples of the color, they attached themselves onto the biblical part because they needed the crude oil to run their factories. That's what they needed. So what they did, all who didn't convert to a democratized system, they were killed.